You did it in 8 months, Shane. Tell people the fastest way to break into tech sales. If somebody's coming from no sales experience, obviously I named this story or this communication today, our podcast session, why eliminating the poverty mindset is key to breaking into tech. And we hit on a lot of that. But you're in tech sales, you're an account executive. Tell people the fastest way to go from $40,000 to on your path of making over $150,000. Basically, you tripled your salary. You are, tripled, almost quadrupled your salary in a matter of months. Tell people the fastest way to do so. And just hit on that, and then we can dig into a little bit more about, some of the stumbling blocks or anything like that they may encounter, right? One of the things that you said was, if Antoine's saying doing 15 applications a day, yet you got the remote in your hand, you haven't got to that, right? There's a lot of that, right? So talk about the fastest way to break in, my man.
The fastest way to break into tech is you got to get a mentor. If you don't have direction how to break the routine in what you're doing now, you'll never be successful. One of my mentors is Antoine Wade. Antoine became my mentor. See, like the quote says, you have to expect things of yourself before you can do them. I expected from Antoine to mentor me even through videos. And now we're here in person because of what my expectations became reality. You have to get a mentor. You have to have somebody in that space that's successful. You have to see their failures, and you have to believe that what they overcame, you can believe them. That's number one. You have to. Because if you can do it on your own strength, it'll just be longer. But for me, literally listening to what Antoine said, to be nights that I would cry tears. I just moved into my own house. I lived in a 500 square foot apartment before I moved here. I have a 1,500 square foot house with a deck now, but I lived in a 2-bedroom, 500 square foot apartment. I'm 300 pounds. You imagine how that's like? I cried tears at night because I didn't have the money to go where my friends at the mortgage bankers would go. I didn't have money to go do this, and I didn't want to look like the man out. So I would eat what we could eat, and I would do what we do to sacrifice for family. You have to have a mentor. You have to. Number two, you got to become obsessed with becoming great. You have to really get to the end of yourself, and you have to get to a place where you just don't care anymore. However, hell or high water, you're going to do it. It doesn't matter. You can't be normal anymore. So for me to get this job, I did the most unorthodox things that anybody's ever done. I called into my company sales line. Okay, I called into my company sales line, and what that is the sales line they go to treat clients. They hung up on me 4 times. Finally, somebody picked up the call and said, "Hey, man, what do you want, man?" I said, "I want a shot at becoming great with you. Give my resume to your manager." I met the manager of that company in 2019 and didn't know what I had in my hand. When I called up, in 2022, 2023 here on the sales line, those people that met me in 2019 connected the dots and said, "No, this guy, he worked in cell phone sales. He's hungry." I got passed over on the job 5 times. 5 times. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. So if you're the one that's putting in the applications, if you're the one that's went on the interview and they said no, not only once, not only twice, not only 3 times, not only 4 times, but 5, you can still get the job. So you have to get yourself a mentor. You have to be obsessed with not being normal. And you have to get crazy with it. Don't put in 10 applications, put in 30. Don't put in 30, put in 70. Don't watch one episode of Black Heights. Watch 5 to 10. Take a day and go all in until your eyes burn. I know this sounds insane. You got to get crazy about becoming great. If you got to stay up till 3 in the morning. Just writing down your vision, writing down your top 3 companies, writing down where you want to go. Once you begin to get obsessed with being great, nothing will be able to stop you. With your mentorship and obsession about being great, then you have to have applied action. And you can't give up at the first sign of failure. You have to be obsessed with failing. You have to get so used to failing that failing no longer phases you. It can't even sting you anymore. No, we're all set. Nope, we hired someone else. Nope, that's fine. Who cares? Somebody's going to hire me. Nope,
Yep.
that who cares? Because I'm doing the things that I should be doing to be successful.
Yep. That's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And you do that enough, I'm gonna tell you like this: you're gonna land that position. You're gonna land that position. Shane told me this story, guys, about him calling into the sales line. Boy, he kept doing it too. He was like, "Y'all gonna hire me eventually. You guys are gonna hire me eventually, right?" And those are the things that set the normal people, right? Well, it sets us apart from the normal people, right? You got to think about it. That's a hunger that most people are not going to display. You're not going to be able to see that by sending in just a resume, right? When you're in a competitive job market like we are in today, what are you going to do to stand out? It's not just about an application. And I even say this for the people that are coming out of college. You're graduating. If you already graduated this summer and you're looking for that first-time job, you're competing. What are you going to do to stand out? Are you going to go to the person's office where you want that job? Are you going to call into their sales line? Are you going to call into their HR? Are you going to LinkedIn with these guys? Are you going to book a calendar invite? What are you going to do to stand out? Because everybody is doing the exact same thing of just submitting an application, hoping that they get a call, hoping that they get a call back. If you don't have a network, you got to stand out, guys. You have to find a way to stand out. And Shane is just sharing with you how he did it. And I love it. I love it. All right, Shane, we're in an hour in. We're an hour in. I know we got things to do today. Leave our audience today with, 2 to 3 takeaways that you want them, this to resonate with for the remaining Saturday, right? If there's, 2 to 3 takeaways that you have that you just want to touch on so that this, sums up this show, go ahead and give it to them. Go ahead and give it to them. You've been preaching today, man. I feel like I'm going to jump in the pool, man. Jump in the pool with my shirt on.
Amen. So if your whole life that you've been called for something special, but you haven't had that breakthrough yet, I want you to take a moment and I want you to realign yourself, and I want you not to give up on yourself, because me and Antoine, we believe in you. My story is the story of Kurt Warner. My story is the story of the underdog. When I tell you that we don't have the time today, but I've worked every job you can work in sales. Every job. I've been damn good at them. But because of the lack of belief that I deserved X amount of dollars, or that I could run with X amount of type of people. And to be honest, when you get there, they're no different than when you were at the other level. If you've applied yourself, and if you've worked, some of you have a GPA of the Hard Knock Life Street Academy, and you've been the fast food job, the warehouse job, the tax job, I don't know where you worked at, the lawn care job, the car sales, all these things have padded up underneath your belt. The internship you had to give you life skills and lessons that you don't think have done anything for you. But when you get your shot, it's going to count in the world for you. This is my first month in the company, and I've already hit top rep in the whole company. I've gotten a Crystal Award this month, and by the vice president and CEO sent me an award saying best rep of the month, sent me a plaque in the mail that I have right here on my kitchen table outside my room here. And the reason why I'm sharing that is this. I didn't know what God was preparing me for, or the man upstairs, or you could call it the universe, whatever you want to call it, your destiny. You don't know what you're being prepared for. So don't give up. That's number one. Don't give up. If you're seeing this and, your life has been challenging and there's been some roadblocks, and there's been some setbacks and there's been some haters in your life, that means you're doing the right thing. There's been some shots in the heart that have caused you to say, you know what, I don't deserve to go through this. I deserve more than this. Take a step back and don't give up. because you're really right there. Before you can be brung into what you're going to do, you have to be brung through something. Before you're brung into your destiny, you have to be tested and tried. Okay. And your testing and trying gives you the traits and habits to make you authentic in front of people. All right. Because you know how to deal with a room full of people and you know how to deal with clients at that point in time. And sales is a people's person's game. Okay. It's about retention. It's about selling value. It's about increasing the bottom line of the company. It's about selling products. People buy from people they like. Number 2 is you have to train, practice, and rehearse. Train, practice, and rehearse. If you are not training on a word tracks, you're not writing down a pitch, you're not practicing to sell a certain product, you're going blindly into something. And these are for the folks that have not been in sales or you have not had much sales experience. You're not going to hit the ground running. Your gifting will make room for you. Your zeal, okay? Some of you are just zealous and charismatic and you can sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves. It just doesn't matter. But the skill set and the repetition, okay? The skills are big, but the discipline and the repetition and the mentality of a hardworking individual have to line up with the skill set, with the gifting. The gifting and the repetitive nature and the habit forming mindsets that you have to line up with the gifting. You can have all the gifting in the world. If you don't have the right technicalities and the right approach, you won't go anywhere. You're going to be gifted forever, but you don't show up on time to work. Hey, you don't stay late and extra. Hey, you don't send out those 10 extra applications. Hey, you don't only listen to one video for Antoine. You don't have the discipline that it takes. You're not going to be successful. So the gifting has to line up with the skill set, and that's going to create discipline for you. That's going to create breakthrough.